What if an entire family was slaughtered in their own beds in the middle of the night, and the killer was never caught? In 1912, a small town in Iowa became the site of one of America's most chilling unsolved crimes, Villisca, Iowa. June 1912. The Moore family lived in a modest home in the quiet town. Josiah Moore, 43, a traveling businessman, Sarah Moore, 39, his wife, their children, Herman, 11, Catherine, 10, Boyd, 7, and Paul, 5. That night, 2 other children, Ina and Lena Stillinger, were staying over. The town was sleepy. Neighbors reported no unusual activity. On the morning of June 11, 1912, neighbors noticed the Moore house silent. Inside, officers discovered all 8 victims brutally murdered with an axe while they slept. Key facts. The axe belonged to the Moore family. There were no signs of forced entry. Windows and doors were locked from the inside. Some victims were found in different rooms. The scene suggested a killer who entered quietly, executed the victims methodically, and escaped undetected. Sheriff Will Jeffries led the initial investigation. Neighbors and friends were in shock. The local coroner confirmed all victims were bludgeoned with multiple blows to the head. The small town was gripped by fear. Families locked their doors and barred windows. The Iowa State Police assisted. Investigators explored several possibilities. Business rivals of Josiah Moore, transient workers passing through town, personal grudges against the family. Evidence collected included the bloody axe, footprints in the yard, a possible cigar stub, witness reports of a suspicious stranger in town days earlier. Despite these leads, the case was plagued by contaminated crime scene, hasty media reports, public hysteria. Numerous suspects were questioned, including Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher townsfolk with prior grievances, drifters in the area. Interrogations involved, questioning about movements the night of the murders, checking alibis, comparing handwriting and personal items. None of the suspects were ever convicted. Several trials were held for different suspects, including Kelly, but all ended in acquittals. Over the decades, no one has been proven guilty, and the Moore family murders remain officially unsolved. The house has since been preserved as a haunted historical site, attracting visitors and investigators. Why was the entire family targeted? Was it personal revenge or a random act of violence? Could the killer have lived in Villisca? The case influenced American forensic methods, including crime scene preservation, evidence collection, early use of criminal profiling. Despite over a century of investigation, the killer's identity remains a mystery. The Moores never woke that night. The axe rests as a silent witness, and Villisca continues to remind the world that sometimes the darkest horrors come quietly and vanish without a trace. Disclaimer: this story is based on publicly available information and is presented for educational purposes.